Hello again, and thank you for watching. This is Chase bringing you a review of the Beretta 92 and 96 series of pistols. I'm going to start off with a little bit of history of the Beretta, and then we'll get right into the review. But I want to start by saying that the Beretta is said to be the most tested handgun in the world today, and it's also, Beretta is the oldest gun manufacturer in the world, dating all the way back to 1526. But let's get started into the history. All of this started in 1979 when the Air Force was appointed to find a new handgun in 9mm to replace the beloved 1911, and also the 38 Smith & Wesson revolver. So some of the contestants that they were testing would include Smith & Wesson, Colt, H&K, Walther, Star, FN, and of course Sig Sauer. Now, some of the testing it was subjected to was being exposed to temperatures from negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit all the way to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, being soaked in salt water, being dropped on the concrete time and time again, being buried in the sand, the snow, the mud, and then of course it was reliability tested and all of that. Now, needless to say, the Air Force found that the 92 S1, which was the model at the time, had won that. I'd also like to note that the Sig Sauer 226 did very well in the testing. In fact, from my understanding, it's the only other one that completed it and satisfactorily. But it did, however, it had a problem in the mud portion of the testing. So anyway, later on these results, they were challenged by the Army, claiming that the Air Force used the wrong kind of mud, I guess, and they just generally thought that they favored the Beretta overall. So in 1984, the Army underwent a similar series of testing with updated models from all the previous companies that submitted firearms before. Long story short, on January 14th, 1985, the U.S. Army adopted the 92F, which was the newer version of the Beretta, as the official sidearm of the United States government. That would be known as the M9 service pistol, same thing as the 92. But anyway, Beretta received a 5-year contract worth $75 million for 315,930 pistols. When Smith & Wesson caught the news of this, they were butthurt, and they convinced Congress to reopen the testing. And that is how the XM10 trials were born. During these trials, though, this is where things got a little interesting. This is where Beretta developed or experienced slide failures, and what happened was there was 3 reported incidents of naval officers catching these slides back in their face. So instead of coming back and chamber a new round, it would just slide right off the back and right in their face. Now, their injuries would include lacerations on their face, and also, I believe one guy even lost a tooth. I know some of the rumors, they state that, people were killed and, this happened time and time again, but it only happened 3 times. And that is actually where the 92 FS was born, and that's exactly what you're looking at here. Matter of fact, since, 85, I believe, every one since then has been a 92 FS. And what the 92 FS means is they put a new slide travel stop in here. It's a little pin, as I understand it, in the slide itself to prevent it from coming off of the rails there. And I'd like to also note that since then, since they put that in, they haven't had one report of catastrophic slide failure since. So anyway, getting back to the XM10 trials, they quickly came to a halt with yet another win for Beretta. So this is the 3rd time they actually won. This was even appointed from the Army. So in May 22nd, 1989, I believe, the Beretta received another contract for 57,000 M9s worth $9.9 million. And that is the just kind of the history in a nutshell as far as the government's concerned. But I'd like to jump right into the review, and I'd like to start off with the primary purpose of this series of weapons. This would be, let's see, of course, Beretta 92, Beretta 96. 92 is obviously in 9mm. The 96 is in .40 caliber. But I'd like to start off by saying it's just a fantastic gun for home defense. It's also going to be great for range use. If you are looking for a gun to conceal, I would say look elsewhere. And the reason I say that, it's just kind of a bigger gun. It's pretty heavy, weighing in at 33.5 ounces. That's just not something I'm going to want to be carrying day in, day out. Not to say that it can't be done. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do it. I just feel there's better options out there. However, that weight, it does add to shootability. Shootability is absolutely excellent. I asked my wife and my sister to shoot the 92 and then the Glock right after, both in 9mm, and both of them said that the Beretta handled better. There was less recoil, is what they said, and of course it's going to be attributed to its weight. So I guess that weight is good for something. So anyway, as far as the design is concerned, it is a double to single action. And what that means is your trigger pull is going to be double. So it's about a 9-pound double action. So snap, and then it's going to, let's take this out here, it's going to chamber a new round. And then when it does, you can see your hammer's cocked here. So this puts it in single action. And it's going to be a nice 4-pound trigger pull. Okay, the trigger on this is very nice. Very nice as far as I'm concerned. So, that's your trigger. As far as the sight picture, you get a 3-dot sight picture with this. Let's see if I can line this up here. So you line up the 3 dots, that is your sight picture. And it works really well for me. It's going to be a little different from Glock because they have those battle sights, I guess, and actually some of the M9s do too. I find the 3-dot to be a little easier for me, but I shoot them all well, so no big deal there. As far as the safety on it, the safety is mounted right here on the slide. It also doubles as a decocker, so if it is cocked and ready to go, to decock it, you just put you just pull that lever down and it decocks it. I know it is just a little bit kind of scary there, just that sound. It just seems like if there was a round in the chamber that it would fire one off. But as you can see, if I can get the lighting right here, when I turn this down, you'll notice that rotates out of the way. You see that and that is, of course, to prevent your firing pin from being hit and then the round being chambered. But one thing that I've noticed from what I've read and what I've seen, a lot of people make a big deal out of this safety. They say, oh, I forgot the safety's on, and I go to shoot and nothing happens. If this is a gun that you're going to choose to carry or use or whatever, number one, actually, I don't even use that. If I go to the range, I stick the mag in, I cock it, and it's automatically into single action. I don't even mess around with the safety. But if you do, it's a very easy training issue. People make a big deal out of where it is, and it's so awkward and out of the way. It's right there. It's literally that simple. So you go to pick up your handgun. There you go. It's that easy. Not a big deal there. So anyway, moving on to the open slide design. Now, they did this supposedly to prevent failure to ejects. So you can see this whole slide is open here, and that also, that design, it doubles. So if they say if your magazine is lost or damaged or whatever, you can just put a single round in there. Oops, what did I do there? You can put a single round in there and drop the slide, and there you go, you're ready to go. So that's for the open slide design. Now, getting back to that hammer design too, that is going to prevent the light primer strike. So in some of those striker-fired guns, if you over oil in that area, supposedly you can get light primer strikes. The hammer, it virtually eliminates that possibility. I've never had that problem, but I guess it can be there. So just something to think about. As far as breakdown is concerned, it is very, very simple. What you do is you just depress this button right here. You just drop the lever, and that is your, you should probably take the mag out first. But anyway, here's your spring. You take that out, your barrel, and that's a filled strip. Very simple. Drop your barrel in to get it back, put your spring in, and then you just put it right back on the rack. Very easy. There you go. Oop. There we go. So there's your basic filled strip. And I think that's another thing the government was looking for too. I mean, something that was really simple and really easy to take down and clean and all of that. As far as firepower is concerned, it depends on what we're looking at here. The basic 92, it's going to come with a 15-round magazine. They do make +2 base plates, however. Metgar, I believe, makes that. Now, if you're talking about the 96, which is chambered in the 40 caliber, I think a standard magazine is going to come with 10 rounds. This one happens to be 11, but it also, you can also get a +2 base plate for that. As far as factory magazines, they go all the way up to 20 rounds, I believe, and I've seen non-factory all the way to 30. While we're on the magazine issue, I want to kind of get into reliability. It's kind of got a bad rap from some of the service guys. They either love it or hate it. And one thing you hear is, you know, the reliability is terrible and all that. And I would say that what most people don't know is the government, they signed a contract with a magazine company, or just a company. Their name is Checkmate Magazines. Now, they just had horrible luck with those mags. They were not reliable, and they had even worse luck in the sand. So I think that had a lot to do with the failures of the gun, and I don't think the gun should be judged on that. But just like any other gun out there, it's going to prefer its factory magazine. I don't really care what gun what you're talking about. So as far as reliability is concerned, all I have to go on is my own personal data, and I have put thousands of rounds through these pistols, and I have nothing but great things to say about it. I haven't had so much as bad ammunition. It's been amazing. You know, I guess that's all there is to say about that. But, you know, getting back to this hammer design, it reminded me, there was a story. I was out shooting with this guy. You know, he seemed to, you know, think he knows, you know, he said he knew what he was doing, that he shoots really well, and, you know, just kind of generally talking himself up. And so we were shooting at a target, didn't do real well, and then he goes to give me the firearm, points up my general direction, and instead of using the decocker here, what he did is he pulled the trigger and kept his thumb on here, but he didn't let it down nice. So he lets that go. There, of course, there's a round in the chamber, and I'm not even kidding. That round went about six inches from my foot. Needless to say, I wasn't very happy with that. So that's just another thing you might want to look into. Just remember, that is a safety issue. So my advice is to use that decocker. But anyway, that's just kind of the general overview of the Beretta 92 and 96. I would highly, highly recommend this firearm. I absolutely love it. Like I said, it's going to be great for home defense, for range use, anything like that. As far as the rating on this firearm, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.9, and I do that just to leave room for the unknown. But anyway, that's the review, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it, and please subscribe for more videos. That's a little more like it.